मगर संत रविदास का भी वो जन्मदिन है, उसके एक अलग कॉन्टेक्स्ट में आदमी बात करूंगा। मगर 14 फरवरी का दिन था और 3:10 को एक आतंकवादी हमला हुआ। आई वाज एट रमाबाई अंबेडकर नगर इन चेंबूर, जहाँ काफी दलित मारे गए थे 2099 में पुलिस फायरिंग में। हमारा एक कार्यक्रम था और जब ये धमाका हुआ तब वहाँ सीआरपीएफ के 2 लोग जो कश्मीर में काम कर चुके थे वो थे हमारे साथ। तो आई आस्क्ड हिम सम क्वेश्चंस कि भाई ये हुआ कैसे? जम्मू एंड कश्मीर आर द मोस्ट मिलिटराइज्ड रीजन इन द वर्ल्ड। वी हैव लाइक 7 लाख आर्मी मैन नाउ देयर। चप्पा चप्पा पे पुलिस वाला, मिलिट्री वाला है, सीआरपीएफ, बीएसएफ, एवरीबॉडी इज देयर। व्हाट द हेल हैपेंड? So I'll come to that. Okay. Now the point is, this is of course the photograph for what happened on that day. And point is के सवाल ये था कि 2019 का इलेक्शन आ रहा था। 2018 दिसंबर में मध्य प्रदेश, छत्तीसगढ़ और राजस्थान में इलेक्शन आ चुके थे। जो मोदी मीडिया जो मोदी मीडिया थी वही बोले कि 282 का ये लोग 180 पे आने वाले हैं। इकोनॉमी वाज इन शैम्बल्स, ऑल दैट हैड हैपेंड। सो समथिंग वाज गोइंग टू हैपन, वी हैड अंडरस्टूड। वो दंगा करवाता क्या करवाएगा, मगर ही चोज द इंटरनेशनल रूट। तो स्ट्रेटजी क्या था कि स्पेस टेरर अटैक्स, रोना धोना कर लो, पाकिस्तान के साथ जंग कर लो, कम्युनल राइट्स कर लो, असैसिनेशन प्लॉट जिसके वरा राव जी उदाहरण है, ये सब वो स्ट्रेटजी में थे। The most dangerous man in the country, assassination plot, is sitting having lunch out with us in a center. Okay. Now, basically, I will not say the good thing was this time political leaders tried to speak out. Mamata Banerjee raised questions, Ram Gopal Yadav, और यहाँ तक राज ठाकरे जब उसका दिमाग ठीक चल रहा था, उसने ये कह दिया कि अगर अजीत डोवल और आईएसआई की जो मीटिंग 6 महीने पहले बैंकॉक में हुई थी, अगर उसी पे तहकीकात हो जाए तो इसका पूरा रहस्य खुल जाएगा। ये आतंकवादी हमले के पहले रॉ और आईएसआई की मीटिंग बैंकॉक में हो चुकी थी, जिसका राज ठाकरे बोलते उसकी तहकीकात कीजिए। मेजर जनरल हुदा वाज पार्ट ऑफ दी ही काउंटर द उरी टेरर अटैक। इस के जो 350 किलो जो आरटीएक्स आए हैं वो बाहर से नहीं आए हैं। जो जम्मू कश्मीर हाईवे पे जो काम चल रहा है, जिसमें आरटीएक्स और अमोनियम नाइट्रेट का यूज होता है, ये वहीं से आया है। ये जनरल हुडा बोले थे। नाउ द पॉइंट इज दैट द मीडिया, देयर वाज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल दैट अपीयर्ड इन द वॉशिंगटन पोस्ट आफ्टर पुलवामा। द इंडियन मीडिया प्रूव्स इट इज द बीजेपी's propaganda machine by Suchitra Vijayan and Vasundhara Sinhate. The media did only one thing. They went by the official press notes of the government. No investigation, no going to the ground for reporting, quoting sources, that's all that they did. But there was no independent media reporting on this entire issue. मेरा तो राजीव सरदेसाई के साथ इसमें झगड़ा भी हो गया था, because we know how corrupt even the so-called liberal media is of these issues. So let's go straight to the standard operating procedures. Standard operating procedure ये है, और ये मैंने वो सीआरपीएफ जवान से भी सीखा था, कि जब एक कारवां जम्मू से श्रीनगर जाना है या श्रीनगर से जम्मू आना है, दैट इज द मोस्ट मिलिटराइज्ड सेफ हाईवे इन द वर्ल्ड। ओके, जम्मू कश्मीर इज मोर मिलिटराइज्ड देन अफगानिस्तान और इराक और व्हाटएवर पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, इज द मोस्ट मिलिटराइज्ड पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड। तो उसका प्रोसीजर क्या होता है कि अगर जम्मू से श्रीनगर ट्रक जाने हैं, गाड़ियां जानी है, जीप जानी है, 24 घंटे पहले पूरा इलाका सैनिटाइज हो जाता है। Till the eye can see, अगर फॉग हुआ तो 50 मीटर 100 मीटर की दूरी पे एक जवान खड़ा होता है सीआरपीएफ बीएसएफ का, और पूरी की पूरी हाईवे के जो दोनों साइड है वो आईडी जो बॉम्ब्स वगैरह को छोड़िए उसका देख लेते हैं, कोई आदमी उसमें हो नहीं सकता। और जो छोटे सड़क खुलती है हाईवे पे, जो कनेक्टिंग रोड्स होते हैं, वो सब पे बैरिकेड होते हैं। ईच कार इज चेक फॉर बॉम्ब्स, मतलब वो जो स्टील का वायर होता है, रॉड होता है, टू चेक फॉर बॉम्ब्स। एवरी पर्सन इज चेक्ड, एवरी कार इज चेक्ड बिफोर इट गोज ऑन टू द हाईवे। This is the standard operating procedure. Okay. And what do we know about the entire attack? Nothing. Who was the officer in charge? कहाँ से ये गाड़ी आती है हाईवे पे, कुछ हमको पता नहीं। जो so called कमेटी की रिपोर्ट आई, that is also whitewash. Okay. Now, so this was the first question. And how did that car with 350 kilos come? क्योंकि स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर के अनुसार ये असंभव है जब तक इंसाइडर रोल नहीं है ये हो ही नहीं सकता। तो इंसाइडर रोल कौन था? दूसरी बात है कि the weather conditions were bad as we are all aware. बहुत snowfall था, 4th Feb से they couldn't move towards Kashmir. So the army applied to the Ministry of Home Affairs that give us M17 helicopter airlifts or give us Air Force airlifts, cargo plane airlifts to go to Kashmir, Srinagar. They said not possible. Then what they asked for, give us armored car buses. Not possible. Go by the डब्बा गाड़ियों में जो स्टेट अपनी स्ट्रीट टाइप बस होती है, स्टेट टाइप ट्रांसपोर्ट, उससे बदतर हालत में हमारे जवानों को बिठा दिया था। एंड दिस इज ऑफिशियल डॉक्यूमेंट। उसके बाद ये देखेंगे कि जो पहली गाड़ी थी, मगर ये जो गाड़ी पे अटैक हुआ 3-10 को, they knew exactly which car to attack, which bus to attack, which was a not protected bus, okay, and they exactly knew which bus had to be hit by that bomb. काफिले की 5वीं बस बुलेट प्रूफ नहीं थी, इसलिए बनाया निशाना। दूसरा सवाल ये आता है कि हमको मतलब the car used for the suicide bombing, आपको याद होगा पहला रिपोर्ट आया था, it was a black Scorpio car, आपको याद है? हमको बोला गया था काली गाड़ी है, it is a black Scorpio car, no chassis number because it got blown up, 1 किलोमीटर लंबा उसके टुकड़े पड़े थे बसों के, ट्रकों के। मगर उसके बाद एक मारुति इको गाड़ी हो जाती है रेड इन कलर, और उसके चैसी नंबर भी मिल जाते हैं, उसका ऑर्डर भी मिल जाता है, ओनर गायब हो जाते हैं, अलग बात है। मगर द नैरेटिव वाज चेंजिंग वेरी रैपिडली, यू कांट गेट द कलर एंड द ब्रांड ऑफ द कार रॉन्ग, दैट इज रिडिकुलस, दे हैव टू चेंज द नैरेटिव। एंड द 4 मूवमेंट्स ऑफ द कार, वी गॉट वन कि गाड़ी साइड पे खड़ी थी एंड जब बस आई उसको ठोक दिया, दूसरा की गाड़ी उसको पीछे से आ रही थी, जम्मू से जब निकली तो गाड़ी, तीसरी नैरेटिव इट केम फ्रॉम द फ्रंट, फ्रॉम श्रीनगर से गाड़ी आई, और चौथी के कोई एक साइड से आई। 4 नैरेटिव्स वर गिवन टू अस, until date nothing is settled. And then this entire question of the cars in the bus. In the standard operating procedure, as you would all know, there is something called jammers. अगर आपको आईडी से रिमोट कंट्रोल से उड़ाना है तो आपको एक बटन दबाना है और उड़ जाता है, but all these buses are meant to have jammers with which you just cannot operate your remote control. So where were these jammers? And same applies to Mumbai 2611, that the terrorists are talking to Pakistan for 3 days. Why weren't there jammers outside the Taj and the Trident and the Oberoi? They were allowed to talk, everything is going on live. This was all another drama that was played out for our world and our country. Now, were there intel warnings? Were there intel warnings for the government? Yes, there were very specific intel warnings by the Jammu and Kashmir police. ये अटैक आपको पता है कि 14 को हुआ था। Yes. If you are operating from there, it's better. This was the Jammu and Kashmir police. That on the 8th of Feb, the Jammu and Kashmir police sent a specific intel alert marked extremely urgent to the CRPF, BSF, ITB, SSB, Army and the Air Force warning of a possible attack. It was on behalf of the IG Police Kashmir, and they were told to sanitize areas properly before occupying place of deployment. Sanitize the areas against the bombs, the IEDs. Very specific to all the major paramilitary forces, including the Army and the Air Force. Yeah, go on. Go on. Yeah. This is very interesting. On the 12th of Feb, fact 9. This is the article called 17 facts here, fact number 9. On the 12th of Feb, 2 days prior to the attack, the Jammu and Kashmir police shared another intel input. A 33-second video clip was uploaded showing that a suicide attack on similar lines in Somalia will take place. A 33-second video clip. In counter to that, the US, before that, the US travel advisory warning American citizens not to be around. They were expecting something. It was called Azad Kashmir, and which we call back occupied Kashmir. Modi government never even objected to the Pakistanis calling the Americans calling it Azad Kashmir. So did they have actionable intelligence? Yes, the Americans had actionable intelligence, which is why they gave this advisory. But also worryingly, in 2017 we had machine guns which are found in Afghanistan, used by NATO in Afghanistan, found in Kashmir. Okay. On the 13th of Feb, now this is very important. Remember the attack took place in Pulwama, Kakapora, right? Kakapora was the village where this attack took place. Now, one day before this attack, a grenade attack takes place in school. Someone goes and throws a grenade bomb in the school. The entire area is cordoned off. There is supposed to be more police and more army and more paramilitary. And it is, so this area is now sanitized and totally in the control of the military and the paramilitary forces. And it is from that area where they say Adil Dar came in a car with 350 kilos RDX onto the highway. So this area was totally under the control of the army and military because there was one day before a grenade attack over there. Yeah. Now coming to Adil Dar. Adil Dar was a suicide bomber. Now this is very interesting. Just go to this Mumbai Bureau report, please. Adil Dar was detained 6 times in less than 2 years by the Jammu and Kashmir police. 6 times. And once he was detained, he was involved in a shootout. He was involved in a shootout where he was working for the Hizbul Mujahideen. He was never arrested, never called a terrorist, and he was always graded as category C, which is okay, he's like a protester throwing stones and stuff like that. This is Adil Dar. No, just go down. Just go up, yeah. Just go down, please. This is a very important next image. In this image, you clearly see the report. Just go up. Yeah. 2 militants still another arrested. You have Adil Dar arrested in a shootout. This is Kashmir Times newspaper report, but he was never arrested after that. So Adil Dar was clearly working hand in hand with the intel agencies out there, despite the fact that he was a known guy with a gun in his hand and all kinds of things. So that was Adil Dar. But now it becomes even more interesting. Yeah. Now the first report that came of Abdul Rashid Ghazi, that Abdul Rashid Ghazi was a mastermind. You need to see this entirely. This is a Wikipedia report. The first report that came that Abdul Ghazi was the main terrorist. The problem was that he was dead in July 2007. He was killed in a Lal Masjid operation in Pakistan. If you know that Lal Masjid was taken over by all kinds of terrorists in Pakistan and it was a fight out. But Abdul Ghazi died way back in July 2007. He wasn't around for Pulwama Balakot. Okay. Now, then after that was challenged, then came a new name. Yeah. Now this is the guy who comes, Omar Kamran. Now look at this Omar Kamran's photograph, and it gets even more pathetically funnier now. When I was on TV, I was saying you got the wrong photograph. I used to tell all the TV channels that you got the wrong photograph. This is not the guy. Okay. Now just go down. Look at the way he's holding it. Yeah, go down further. This was a Photoshop of a Brazilian policeman. This was how pathetically, I mean, they think we are a bunch of idiots, that we just take what they give us and just carry on without questioning. And this was challenged by one Twitter guy, Sukumar something his name is. Yeah. Just look at it. They just used the Brazilian policeman and put Kamran Omar there, and this was the terrorist. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, go on.
The photo was released by who?
Huh?
The photo was released by who?
By the ID. Now they say we didn't release it. Nobody knows who's releasing it. Okay. Yeah. So a Brazilian policeman, Guilherme Leo, from the image of Kamran was mocked and photographed. This is it. Okay. Now, on the 14th of Feb, there was a fake news planted by the BJP propaganda cell. But thankfully, there was another terror attack in Shopian. But the CRPF challenged it. The CRPF has played a very good role during this entire matter. Okay. Now comes the Americans. So this is the armored cars that are Indian Army, our CRPF should be having, our BSF should be having. And what do they have is this. Okay. So someone had put out, just go down further. You have money for statues, but no money to protect the lives of soldiers. Okay.
Eco Express.
Yes. Huh? Wait. Now, the other point comes that they claim to have information from the Jaish-e-Mohammed talking to each other in Pakistan. That is how we uncover the plot. you have equipment to track their discussions in Pakistan, but you don't have the equipment to track what they're saying in India. Okay, so then they came up with another headline, Jaish using new techniques to avoid intercepts. Some very advanced technology, which they don't have in Pakistan, but they're using in Jammu and Kashmir where they're under our control. Okay, yeah, go. Jaish using new techniques. So on. Now, where was Modi ji on that day? This gets. Remember, Bush was in a school, right? He was in his car going to the school, and he was in a school, and he was told that there's an attack, and he keeps on reading the book. What was Modi ji doing on that day? Modi ji was in the Corbett Park at 3:10 p.m. when the attack took place. He was in the Corbett Park for a photo shoot, and at 5:10 he addresses the rally. He doesn't mention to us. He still doesn't mention that he was addressing the meeting over the phone. Now the point is, they are saying that there was no communication. It is impossible. Ajit Doval, the National Security Advisor, and the Prime Minister are on touch over satellite telephones 24 hours a day without any doubt. It could be a war, it could have been a nuclear attack, and you saying I'm doing a photo shoot. It doesn't make sense at all. I think that much we all understand. So, yeah. So that was Modi ji out there, and then across the next 7-8 days, look at how happy he is. This is a country that has been attacked. We have lost 42 of our CRPF Jawans, and that's how sad he was. Yeah. Now we come to the Balakot surgical strike. The Balakot surgical strike, you had, this is very important, he's a really good man, Rajiv Tyagi, former Indian Air Force pilot. I have written about the futility of attacking terror camps as they got no any strategic enemy assets. But in this case, in the government of India, but basically what you are saying, it was about the personal glorification. The point is, after the 14th of Feb, if you went and attacked the Jamaat-ud-Dawa, the Jaish-e-Mohammed camps within 2 hours, it makes sense. But if you're going to take 10 days, I'm going to attack you. They are going to empty all the camps and walk off, and that's what happened. And in any case, they did not even attack the buildings of the Jaish-e-Mohammed. There were forests where 7 trees fell down, and that's what it was all about. Okay. But now understand the predictive programming that we were told to. What are we told? 300 मरे, 300 सीट आने वाली है. बराबर? 300 मरे और 300 सीट आने वाली है, वो हमारे दिमाग में डाला गया तो बाद में 303 सीट आ गई. That's how and that's how they do it. Okay. So, yeah. And all the reports, I'm not even talking of any other media. The ones on the ground were, just go back up. The ones on the ground, the international media was there. The New York Times, the Washington Post, Jane's Defense Weekly, Telegraph, The Guardian, all these were there on the ground. They went there, and none of the buildings had, forget killing terrorists, none of the buildings were also attacked. And we have proof about that. And can be proved. Right. The point is that ones who ask questions were immediately called anti-national, pro-Pakistan, you're supporting Pakistan. But remember, during the time of the Kargil war, there was a press conference every evening during Vajpayee's government, where there was a press conference every evening where the defense minister to the generals had to answer the questions raised by the media. That was during Atalji's time. I'm not even talking of any other government. Yeah. So now, let's go down there. And Modi also made a big faux pas at that time. He said the results could have been better if he had used Rafale fighters. So Pakistan carried it, look at it, the Mirage, the French Mirage fighters have failed, and the Prime Minister himself is saying that. Now, these were the Spice missiles used, the air-to-surface missiles that were used. These were the Spice missiles used. I'm just going to explain what they are all about. Yeah. So these are Israeli Spice missiles. Just go a bit down. Down, sorry, down. Yeah. Now, the part in the front has a video camera. Okay? And the point is that these are highly precision missiles. They go to a couple of feet here and there, not in meters. Once they are programmed, they go to their target. Just go down. Yeah, that's the video out there, the video camera out there. Yeah, go down. So it's very simple, just wait. It's very simple. I had approached him, Prashant Bhushan at that time, that listen, we need to challenge this, and it's very simple. Because the video camera, while hitting the target till the last microsecond, is releasing data to the Mirage fighter and to the central command, where they got all the proof and the evidence of where the target is hit. We've seen this in Hollywood movies, we know that, right? So the point is that it was very simple, that we needed to go to the government and to the Supreme Court, that we demand that the Supreme Court tells the government of India to release the data of where these bombs hit. It was very simple. Because interestingly, when the Indian Air Force was asked two questions, how many died? They said, ask the government. And what did you hit? We hit what the government told us to hit. They had to maintain their professionalism because they knew that they would be the laughing stock of the international, military Air Force fraternity. Ask the government how many died. We were given a target, we hit that target. They are not telling us a target. The Indian Air Force never came out with a target. Alright? Now, yeah, Raw Chief Dulad. Actually, Raw Chief Dulad is a very interesting man. Dulad was responsible for calming the situation in Jammu Kashmir. Because it was during Dulad's period that the Kashmiri leaders started getting a lot of money from the Indian government also. So the ISI chief and Dulad have actually written a book together on how the agencies function together at times. It's very interesting. The book by Dulad, I forget the name right now, but that is a Dulad. Correct. The government also called this a non-military preemptive strike. कि हम लोगों ने इसको मिलिट्री टारगेट नहीं बनाया है और ये प्रीएम्प्टिव तो मैं समझता हूं मगर they called it a non-military preemptive strike. It's a ridiculous term actually. Okay. Now coming to the last part. जय जवान जय किसान. और वो राम जी को बोलते हैं कि भाई इस इलेक्शन में तुम्हारी जरूरत नहीं है. फुलनामा बालाकोट हो चुका है तो उसी से मैं 2019 का खेल लूंगा. और आखिरी में नहीं, that's what history and the German people will despise every man who does not give us everything to save the Führer. This was Adolf Hitler in 1945. मतलब जो मेरे साथ नहीं है, ओके, वो उनकी खैर नहीं है. और आखिरी में रात इंदौरी जो एक बहुत बड़े भारत के कवि है, उनकी दो पंक्तियां थी. सरहदों पे बहुत तनाव है क्या, कुछ पता करो चुनाव है क्या. Is there tension on the borders? Do find out, are there elections? Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, Kishore bhai. Bharat Mata ki.